All right, so this is a suggestion via Patreon. The name of the video is You Don't Have to Look Black to Be Black. The complex racial identity of a tiny Ohio town. Let's check it out.
With a lot of the people that lives out here, you probably wouldn't take them to be black people. You might not look black, but you got the black blood into you.
All right, really quickly. If you were to definitely turn up the saturation just a little bit, bro, a little bit, she definitely, yeah, I could tell. I could tell. But all right. I need to know the entire story. Okay.
Well, my name is Roberta Jeanette Orler, but I go by Bird for a nickname.
Okay.
I've lived here all my life. On my job that I had worked at, they took me to be white. And my best friend, she took me to be white. She was shocked when I told her I'm not white. I am black. I am a black person. And it was, well, you're not that. You think you are. No, I know I am. I was raised that way. But I was also raised, as Mom would say, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. We all serve one God.
All right, all right. That's some positivity coming out of this story, guys. This is not like a super uncommon thing. Like if you were to literally see a photo of like my entire family, and we have this skin tone in my family. Absolutely. It is what it is, guys. I mean, it's not extremely shocking to me, guys. I mean, hearing the story, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is making a little bit of sense here. Initially, the initial appearance, I wouldn't have thought that, guys. You get what I'm saying here? But there have been a lot of people, like even historically, there have been a lot of people that have her appearance and her overall lineage. They were basically passing as something they technically weren't, right? Like in the early 1900s, a lot of them were passing just to kind of get away from the overall treatment that they were experiencing in the early 1900s, guys. It's not extremely
uncommon. Now, as you know, this is my home. Over here is my daughter's home, Jessica. Everybody else in here, we're all kinfolks. That's how this community got to be mixed with white and black. It was from the black children. Our children going out marrying white and bringing them in. A lot of them was as light as I am, but we still said we were black. And then we had some real dark ones, but that's okay. They were black, we were black. So that's how this all got started.
Okay.
My grandma, was half Turk, half black. My grandpa was a white man. My mom registered me as black. My mom she wasn't as fair complected as I am. She was a light tan brown. My dad, he has German, Irish, white. Well, his mother was a white woman. His dad was a colored man. And then as I grew older and I got married and I had my children, I registered my children as black.
I have found that stone that was here down the mountain.
Most of them in this area goes as black. We've got maybe 2, 3 families that considers themselves being white. But the rest of us in here, we consider ourselves being black.
You know this country is prejudiced, always have been. And it never will grow out of it. I was in the service.
Guys, we have a lot of issues with skin tone, definitely, right? We've gotten a lot better over the times, right? But I can only imagine what the woman that's speaking and narrating the story has gone through historically, guys. I can only imagine. And if everyone in this room is calling themselves black, that's an interesting thing, guys. I mean, you definitely cannot, like, take away someone's culture. Why would you, right? Why would you try to do that? Yeah, their appearing is one thing, but I think this is a pretty good example of the overall complexity that the average person you're encountering, actually has in their background.
In '66, I circled black, Negro. He said, you can't circle that. I said, that's what I am. Well, he kind of smiled, and he said, circle this. I said, okay, which meant Caucasian. I didn't show my color, but I know what I was. And I ain't gonna deny my race. My mom raised me as Negroes. Oh, I had a lot of people ask me, say, why did your mom raise you as a Negro? I said, that's what I am. They said, yeah, but you don't show it. I said, it's gonna come a time where white won't accept you and the Negroes will accept you. I said, I'll wait it out. That's about all you can do.
Oh my.
He'll break through the blue.
Yes.
Some golden day break for me and for you.
Amen.
Growing up, I was always taught that I was black. I started into school and didn't really think much about it until I got into the elementary. I'm going to say around about 3rd or 4th grade. That's when I started noticing the difference. I started noticing I was being taught that I was black, but I didn't look black.
But the world was socializing you as white. I get it. Let's get it.
Other children didn't view me as black. Even some of those other kids made fun of me because, why are you saying you're black when you're white? It wasn't until I reached about junior high and then I realized I'm white. That is what I am. Yes, I know I was raised black and was told I was black, but I am white. What black person has blonde hair?
She is disappointed. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. She is disappointed. I think the daughter is about to say something extremely intriguing, guys.
Black and was told I was black, but I am white. What black person has blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair complected and can hardly tan besides...
Okay. She stipulated the fair complexion because blonde hair, blue eyes is not specifically exclusive to people of European descent.
What black person has blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair complected and can hardly tan besides burning? I'm white.
You don't have to look black to be black. I know she don't look black.
God, guys.
But she has got black in her. She's right. She's got a lot of different kind in her.
I mean, listen, I see what the mother's trying to do here, but I do think that she should at least... She has other things in her. She's not just one thing. If anything, you want to call her mixed. You can say, oh, you are mixed. She definitely does not appear like the mother does, though. The mother's obvious, right? But the daughter absolutely is not. She has nothing really of the diaspora, guys.
But I am her mother.
Okay.
I stand on the black.
Like, guys, if you saw my son, you'd be like, is that your son? Yes, that's my son. I'm telling you, if you see my son, all right? And the reason why I'm pointing this out here is that, guys, my overall, like, my DNA is wild. It is all over the globe, everywhere. Basically, pick a region and my DNA basically falls there. It's odd, guys. My mother looks nothing like me. I am probably one of the darkest people in my entire family. So just to give you guys an example here, and my son, if you were to see my son, you would not believe that my son was my son. You wouldn't. He has my face, but that's it. That's it. Okay, completely. He does not have my skin tone. He has nothing really of me. He just, let's get it.
She did not stand. Only for so long of a time she stood.
Well, my youngest son.
As for black. When she got into school, into Waverly School, she let the people in Waverly change her thinking, her feeling. I didn't. I still stood for what I was, what my mother told me I was. I didn't care what I had to go through. I still stood for it.
When I finally made the decision to go as white, I did feel guilty about it. It did, in a way, break my heart. It's nothing against my family, and it doesn't mean that I don't like black people or love black people or care for black people. I do. And like I told her, I can't be racist, and I know that, and I would never want to be, even if I chose to be. I couldn't. I don't want that for myself or for my children.
Okay. And listen, and to be honest, you have to respect her standpoint also. She absolutely appears of European descent, right? And she's going to go through life with that, with everything that comes from that very specific designation, right? So what is there really to... She knows where she is. She knows who her mother is. She knows who her family is, right, etc. But she just has to do what's best for her. That's completely fine, guys. People have been doing this since since the early 1900s. This is not an uncommon thing, where you have kids that are birthed out of a mother who is who she appears African, right, or of African descent, and they look like the daughter does. The daughter is going to make a decision in life which kind of route she wants to take, right? And she chose what is best for her. It's completely fine. Nothing's wrong with it, right?
You're never going to get to the top of that mountain.
But I understand the mother and
the black blood
daughter.
in you. It's going to stay there. And whether you want to accept it or not, there is going to be people to pick it out of you, whether you mention East Jackson or not.
Nah. Yeah.
I went to a doctor in Waverly a couple good years back. And on that application, it asked my race. And I put black. The woman come out and said to me, "How can you be black?" And I kind of stared at her because she...
A lot of people have that thing, though, guys. It's the oddest thing in the world. A lot of people will respond like that. Most of the population will respond like that. Like, once I hear it and then I acknowledge it by looking at you, I'd be like, "Oh, okay, it's pretty obvious." I mean, you know, a lot of black people in America can have absolutely, guys, you know, right? Other people may not know, right? They just may look at your skin tone and be like, "Yeah," but not realizing that that a good majority of black Americans in America have like families that look like all types of hues, guys, right? So we know, right? But I get it. A lot of people in America can look at her skin tone and be like, "Yeah, no." Right?
Throwed me off.
We get it.
She said, "I have never seen a black person, fair complected, blue eyes, freckles, and red hair." I said, "Well, surprise, you see her now." And she wanted to change my race. She was aiming on marking out the black and putting white. And I told her, "Don't you do that. I know what I go by. I know what I am. You leave it there."
Respect.
I will never, ever deny my race for what my mother had brought me up and raised me and had put me as. I will always be that until the day I leave this earth.
Ooh, heavy, guys. I can give you some slight anecdotal evidence here. So when my wife came to America for the first time, right? We were married in Spain. She's from Spain. I lived in Spain for almost a decade, guys. But when she came to America for the first time and they asked her what her race was, she was befuddled, okay? And the reason why she was so confused here, she was like, "Bro, what does this even mean?" So, like, in terms of, like, her lineage, she is kind of North African, but Spanish, right? Raised in the area of Granada. This is the ancient kingdom, or the previous ancient kingdom of the Moorish Empire. So she kind of fits into that very specific ilk of people, right? Almost Arab, kind of, in terms of like the overall phenotype. And so the thing about that is, so she comes here, fills out this paperwork, and they look at her, and they're like, because she basically put down like Hispanic of African descent because she is Hispanic cultured of North African descent. Okay. Oh my, was that wrong? Apparently, she was completely offended that they literally had to change her answer because Hispanic of African descent, for the most part, would be me, guys, because soy Dominicano, right? Like you get what I'm saying here, guys. So like that would be me, not her, because she has a different phenotype, right? Even though she literally is African, North African, Moroccan, right? Spanish type of thing, guys. And yeah, they basically changed her to white, and she was offended, out of this world offended at this. She was like, bro, that's not me. I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, her skin is equally as light as a person that would be considered white is. She doesn't like burn in the sun. She tans, right? But the point is that the level of offense that people take when they come to this country for the first time and they have to force themselves into a box that doesn't make any sense, right? Because if you write down you're Caucasian, are you? We would think instantly, like at least in Europe, that you're from the Caucasus Mountain Range. You're Turkish in a sense. You're not Turkish. What does this even mean? What do these words mean? And that's what basically threw her off when she first came here, regarding like this ridiculous racial classification that goes on a daily basis in the United States. It's crazy, guys. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day, and enjoy your day thoroughly.